Evening all, Chief Prepper here. I'm going to do a video about something that I've had on my mind for a couple years now. And I tell you guys all the time to be flexible and to rearrange your list. So I'm going to show you something here in a minute and talk to you about it first. Most advanced preppers have invested money in backup power generation. If we only ever have outages for like the power goes out because someone hits a pole or power goes down temporarily, you're typically not going to get a large surge. So most of the information that I've seen is if your electronics are plugged in and you're within the pulse of the EMP or of the nuclear weapon, since the government is very concerned about that, so it says, so it seems, then all your backup power generation, if it's hooked to shore power and is one of those auto start things, is smoked. Your refrigerator and your freezer with all your food in it is smoked. Anything that you use that is plugged in or is on shore power, light bulbs will be an issue. Radios, stereos, all that stuff is going to be an issue. All right, so I don't know if this is a solution, but I do know what I'm getting ready to show you, which is called a UPS, an uninterruptible power supply. It is a pass-through power system, but all of the electricity gets filtered across batteries in it. It's supposed to be able to withstand a very direct or very close lightning strike to save your electronics, and they say that they'll warranty it out to a certain thing. So my thinking is if it'll filter out a lightning strike, which is very fast, all right, like really fast, not too unsimilar to an EMP, the UPS system that I'm talking about may save your large appliance. And then you say, what is that? Well, you know, people used to know how to live without refrigeration. Not so much anymore. People used to know how to live without freezers. Not so much anymore. We don't know how to salt cure meat or put it. I've seen videos of a guy who advertises the lost ways where he says you rend fat and then you store the meat in it, and it's supposed to be safe, years later, but I don't know anything about it, so that's all hearsay for me, and I don't know of anybody personally who does it. So let's get to the box that I already have. See that? That is an uninterruptible power supply. Those are batteries. Those batteries are $70 a piece. There's two there hooked in series. So I need to replace the batteries and I haven't done it. So that's part of me saying it's been on my mind for years now. I don't even know that those batteries technically were bad, but I do know that something caused the UPS to trip and go into, it was powering everything because it was beeping. I think I know why now, but I didn't know at the time. That plug has got issues that it was plugged into. So something to consider. So if you get the biggest UPS that I know of that is for like computers and stuff, it's 900 watts. My big refrigerator freezer pulls between 180 and 250 watts. So you figure that's going to give you, if the up survives or if the power goes out, it will also give you about 4 hours of power to keep your food and your refrigerator running in the event the power goes out and you're not home. So I am frequently 25 to 35 miles away from my house. If it happens while I'm gone, that's a full day's hike, maybe a day and a half. So the freezers, if they're on UPSs, may still be okay as long as they haven't thawed out, and they're supposed to be good for quite a long time, which is a big deal. So I have other food, but the refrigerators and freezers hold my primary food. The other food is food that I eat but not on a regular basis. I'm sure I'm not the only person like that. There's something about being on camera that makes me yawn. No, I'm tired today too. So, you know, if you haven't heard, the FBI is putting out reports. There was a news article today. There's a retired general saying that there's a good chance we're going to get attacked here. And there's information saying that there could be as many as 1,000 bad guys. And when I say bad guys, 100 to 1,000 terrorists that have come into the country. I don't know what to say to tell you to prep, all right? So you need to understand that that's a thing. Now you look at bird flu. I was just texting my buddy and probably depressed him because I don't think he was thinking certain things. I told him about the UPS for his fridge and his freezer. I also told him about the generator that he's wanting to spend money on, and I don't know if he's listening. So he hates the idea of prepping, but he understands the necessity of it. He's a half glass full guy. I love him as my best friend, but he is hard-headed sometimes. He doesn't want to accept the fact of where this country is going. So you look at bird flu with the fatality rates that it has, and he sent me some statistics that he read an article on. People over 50 fared better than younger people, but it had roughly a 44 to 50% fatality rate. The news article I saw said that roughly 1,000 cases over the years have happened, and 50% of those people died. If it goes public and it becomes a pandemic, the government won't need to do any curfews or restriction because people will fucking stay in their house and they won't come out. All right, because people will be scared, especially if people start dying en masse. So you need to understand that you need to have a good garden this year. You may be eating out of it, all right, and you need to protect it. You know, unfortunately, this year we got the cicadas coming out like mass amounts of those. I made that comment on a live stream, and somebody said, "Well, they don't eat anything." Well, apparently they do eat stuff. So, and then you have the Israel-Iran thing. You know, gas prices will skyrocket. People may stop going to work because they won't be able to afford to put gas in their car, which means we will continue this shrinking economy that we have. I'm getting, for the last 6 weeks, 2 or 3 information news articles about bankruptcies of companies and companies closing down. As low as 20, as high as 100 stores. All right. And then you want to hear the hero kicker? News article tonight that I actually read. I didn't just read the headline. Biden has pulled ahead in a poll. So, in my opinion, they're setting a narrative. Right? What are we in? Early April, so we got May, June, July, August, September, October. We're 6.5 months from Election Day. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen, and it has to happen within a footprint for them to affect what they want to happen, as in affect the elections. I think it's still very weird, kind of convenient that it's happening now. because if it goes full-blown pandemic, it'll be, I think it started in, the Wuhan thing started in September, October 2019, and it was here rampant in March of 2020. They shut school down. They didn't shut it down. They just said you're going to do distance learning, not coming into class. I was in college at the time. I told one of my professors that, and he's like, no way. I got an email from him saying, well, I guess we know which one of us was right. And then that's a lot of people, folks. Got roughly 350 million, not counting the illegals, newcomers, whatever the fuck you want to call them, that have come into the country. 50% is 170, 180 million. Think about that. All right. I've blabbed on long enough. It's almost a little over 11 minutes by the time I get off of here. Read the owner's information or research what I've just talked about. Uninterruptible power supply is a pass-through power supply system. The Blue Eddy solar generators that I have are basically an UPS because they have pass-through capability. The difference is my UPS only generates AC power. All right. The Blue Eddy does DC and AC. All right. So, and I don't know if they're all pass-through. The three that I have are. So that's important to understand. I mean, there's a lot that goes into a solar generator. There's a lot that goes into a backup uninterruptible power supply. So look into it. Decide whether or not you want to stack the deck where maybe your refrigerator will work, because anything that's plugged into the grid, if the grid gets smoked, it ain't gonna work. And all your backup power ain't gonna work either, because you ain't gonna have nothing to plug into your backup power that you spent money on. All right. So information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot, share the love when you can. G Prepper out.